And welcome back to Horse Racing Today with yours truly, HRT Rich, over there on Twitter. And to my left on the screen, but to my right in real life is Terry Hollywood. Hey, so far we've done this 20, 30, or $30 to bet on a horse. And I've won 2 and you've won 2 so far. That's 4 out of 6, Terry.
That's
right. Keep up that pace. We don't need to do anything else.
I know. And we both hit that first 1, 2, 3, 4 pick 4 yesterday and tripled our money because it paid what did it pay? It paid $36.37 and we bet $12.
Not bad, right? This is one of the exercises I'm trying to do with these no favorite 4s and the 1, 2, 3 pick 4s is really trying to hone our skills on not just relying on any one of these horses can win, but really trying to dig into and trying to really maybe use some fine comb to separate a couple of horses that might be really close to one another.
Yeah. And I've got the results for the picks for the contest picks, if you want to know.
Sure.
Okay. I had 4 wins and 1 second, and my total was 54.50. You had 2 wins and 2 seconds, and your total was $31. So, yeah. So anyway,
kind of a weird day. A lot of my horses ended up in the second and third picks finding their way to the winner's circle, but really none at the top. We'll see if we can change that today, Terry. Hopefully we can change it this weekend at Saratoga, where last night up to 2 in the morning, cracking out the official Saratoga Travers wagering guide over a guaranteed tip sheet. Make sure you head on over there for that. You can also get today's free picks, which are Hawthorne racetrack right here in Chicago. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day outside, and going through that card yesterday, felt like it was pretty, I never want to say predictable, but I felt pretty good about the results afterwards. There is a link in the description below. And of course, once the show is over, head on over to horseracingtoday.net. Much like yesterday, we will post our picks, a replay of the show, and that's the only place you can go to get yourself some Horse Racing Today gear. I mentioned yesterday the NFL season is starting, so we got some HRT NFL gear you can dress yourself up in, or your favorite lady, or vice versa, your favorite guy, however it is that in your world. All right, Mr. Terry, we're going to go off to race number 1 at Saratoga. Tomorrow, Tom and I will be back for 4 and Fridays after a 2-week vacation for York over in England. So make sure you tune in for that. Should be maybe 2, 3 o'clock Eastern time. You can see our social sites. Make sure you subscribe to them so you know exactly when we get started. Terry, get us started on the opener today on terrific Terry Thursday at Toga.
It's a 6-furlong race. It's a maiden race, $90,000 purse for fillies 2-year-olds, foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry.
Some New York bred state horses, 2-year-olds, where just about any single thing could happen. We do know that typically what happens at 6 furlongs to get the win, horses do have some early speed. 30%, that was my number in high school, 30 football. Go wire to wire. There is a rail bonus for Frankie Hiccups. Can he take advantage of it? I don't know. 2 through 7, there's a bit of a penalty. 8 and out really is the best place to go. Ordinarily, Terry, we have 10,000 simulations to talk about with some data and all that stuff. But 2-year-olds, a lot of them making their first time start. So we have blank slates. But we don't have blank slates in terms of our picks. So get us started.
Okay, I like number 10, Vehement.
I would say Vehemente.
Vehemente, yeah. She ran second versus similar and only start that she had. And she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 5, Stone Smuggler, is a first-time starter whose sire wins 17% of the races with first-time starters. Her dam has 1 winner from 3 starters, and her breeding suits today's sprint distance. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and a 4-long workout on August 16th. Lots of boxes that she completes. And she's my second choice. My third choice is 8 with the Angels. She is a first-time starter whose breeding suits today's distance. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and she has a good workout on August 11th. My long shot is a 3, Willful Mama. She's a first-time starter as well. Her dam has 4 winners from 4 starters, and 2 of those were stakes winners. And she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey and a good workout on August 13th.
Well, I'm going to start off with the 7 horse in here, Terry. A little bit of a price. You can see that's going to be I'm going to put 15 to win, 15 to place on it right away. I'm coming out swinging, baby. Yes, indeed. Well, 5G, right? They're fast. That's the fast in terms of the phone technology. But this one on August the 11th had a 4 furlong workout, 47-2. You know what that is, right, Terry?
Yeah, it's fast.
Yes, that was the fastest, as a matter of fact, of 182 horses at Saratoga. I don't care. You're the fastest of 182 in anything. You have a little bit of talent. And right now, that horse looks like it's going to go off at about 6-1. So if I can pop, or 5-1 at the moment, I can pop that one right off the get-go, we're off to a good start. Right now, the favorite is With Angels. The 8 horse is my second choice. It is the favorite right now over in New York. Some excellent workouts for this horse as well, prepping for its debut. The one that neither one of us really know how to pronounce, but we'll both take a crack at it. Vehemente. That one was the 50-cent favorite in its debut. Finished a distant second. Did have some excuses, though, throughout the race. Finally, number 5, Willful Mama. Excellent breeding for this one, as well as some solid workouts. Again, I'm coming out swinging with the 2-year-olds, Terry. Anything can happen. And why not the 7 horse off that fastest of 187-2 workouts? A Turkish friend could give me a room and he don't want to be homeless. Well, you can go over to Turkey. Only Terry and I were uninvited. If you have some comments, like Tay from yesterday was full of them, Horse Racing 2024. If you have some ideas, some suggestions for the show, some things you'd like to see us add, subtract, or some picks at any track today that you're looking at, or if you think Torpedo Anna can beat the boys on Saturday, let us know in the comments section. Any interactivity helps us with the Google or YouTube or Facebook or Twitter algorithms, or X, whatever you call it now. Race 2, Terry, is next on our list of things to do. So let's go about our business now.
Okay, 1 in the 16th mile on the turf. It's a grade 2 race, 300,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward.
We should note the turf is rated as good. The track is rated as fast. We should get an excellent day. It's sunny out, so maybe the turf track gets updated to good, to firm as the day moves on. At a mile and a 16th, what you're looking for on the turf are stalkers. 1 out of 8 still managed to win gate to wire. There's an absolute outside to inside bias. As I mentioned in race number 1, we do 10,000 simulations. We want to know who has a chance to get to the lead, the best chance to get to the lead, especially in those races where speed's very important. Based upon our projections, which horses are going to be in their comfort zone. So this match will highly match or mirror their best performances. This Q30 score lets us know what percent of the Quirin points they get for early speed. You're looking for a number of 30 and above, along with some of the best early speed. Par plus, how many times, or 5,080 times, Delahaye ran a speed figure in our 10,000 simulations of at least 94. That's the average speed winning figure for the horses at this condition, according to Brisnet. And simulation odds. We want to get value. We want horses where our post-time odds are higher than our projected odds. Terry, from the data, this just right off the get-go looks like a competitive race.
It is, yeah, because there's 3 horses in here that show really close speed figures, 3, 5, and 4. The 3 has an overlay from about 4 to 5 to 4 to 1. 3, 5, and 1 have par plus numbers, and they all have a C zone, especially the 3. And then there's a 28% Q30 up there with that 1.
And a 33 here. So just everybody's scoring across the board. Usually on C zone, we want a 50% chance or greater that the horse will be in its comfort zone. Along with all of our simulations, trip handicapping, plot out on the track where the horse wants to be when it wins or runs its best race. Really no pure front runners up in here. Get to the front, you might have a chance to stay there. And Butte Cachet, it looks like it might be the one that sets the tone early on, although as we saw in our simulations, really any one of them, if they press the gas pedal, could get forward. At the end, they all have some very similar late space, although surprisingly is about 1 length quicker than everybody else and probably about a length and a half slower than everybody else out of the gate. Your top total pace picture, you have 5 points separating top to bottom. So according to this, Butte wins by about a neck over surprisingly, who is a nose over Delahaye, and Gina Romantica is right there on the tail too. So it could be a 4-way photo finish. Terry, how did you parse it?
All right. Well, I like in this race, let me see. I like the number 3, Delahaye. Finished third in her last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer. Wins 28% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 5, Gina Romantica is my second choice. She finished third in her last race. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Butte Cachet is my third choice. The 4, she won her last race at Monmouth, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then 1 is my long shot, surprisingly, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. My 1, 2, 3, 4 pick 4 is the 3, 4, 5 with the 1, 3, 4, 7 with the 6 with the 6, 9.
So the first race is off and running. Right now, the 8 horse, the favorite, is the one that's on the lead. My 7 horse, kind of in the back there, looks like it's starting to make a little bit of rally. The 6 horse, if you took that one, forget it. It's pulling up. Right now, the 8 horse continues to set the tone at 1-1. The horse that's moving on the rail right now does look like the 5. My 7 horse has moved up into third place, but it looks like its day might be done because it's starting to back up a little bit, it looks like. So maybe that one can wiggle its way into third. Tough to tell. It doesn't look like it right now. That 8 horse, that favorite, is dominating the race right now. My 7 horse is trying to get wide, trying to find its way maybe into second place. The horse trying to find some stride there, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen for my 7. He's all over the track. It's going to go 8, and then the 5. And, well, I don't know. The 8's going to be an easy winner. 8, 5, 4, 1. 8, 5, 4, and 1. So one of us, we both had the 8 in there, and then missed on everything else. There goes my $15 win place on that 7 horse. Maybe I should not bet 2-year-olds, Terry. But, you got to take a shot with a horse that showed that kind of ability on the track. As for me and my 1, 2, 3, pick 4, I'm going to go 3, 4, 5. I'm going to single the 4 in the next leg, then go 5, 6, 8, 9, 6, 9 on the back leg. That's my 1, 2, 3, pick 4 for $12. I like the 3 horse too. It's my top pick. That one is Delahaye. Probably runs better than any of these other horses when the footing is anything other than firm. Gina Romantica is your morning line favorite. Makes the third start after a layoff. Butte Cachet went wire to wire in the only time she caught a good surface. Likely to be the pace setter in this spot today. And then finally, surprisingly, this one's running the right distance, Terry. 6 times out, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. Race number 3 is where we'll take our talents next.
All right. So it's 1 mile and 3/8, and it's on the inner turf. It's an allowance race, $110,000 purse. And it's for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upward, which have never won $20,000 other than maiden, claiming starter, or state bred allowance, or which have never won 2 races.
Let's see. I told her with Chad Brown. Horses are running in a race. The one with the most surprise always wins. Yeah. Mr. Brown definitely puts some good, solid horses out there. 1 3/8 miles on the inner turf, Mr. Terry. That one does favor horses that stalk. 1 of the 5 so far at the distance have gone wire to wire. So far, 4 of the 5 horses that one came from one of the inside 3 posts. The other one came from post 4 through 7. So it looks like you want to be close to the lead, maybe not necessarily on the lead in race number 3, but preferably on the inside 3, Terry. And it looks like really only one of them fits that description.
Yeah, that's right. That's actually the one that with the most speed is on the outside, the 6. I followed up by that one, and then let's see, 6, 5. I'm sorry. It's the 6, yeah, and then followed up by the 1 and the 7. So anyway, and then we have the 4 with an overlay from 4 to 5 to 8 to 5, the 7 with an overlay from 3 to 1 to 4 to 1. The 4, 7, and 6 have par plus numbers, and that 4 has a really good one. And then all but the 4 and 6 have C zones.
Yeah, nothing's ever 100%, but in 10,000 of 10,000 simulations, when we did this, glittering lights, that 4 horse ran a speed figure of at least 87. So that's pretty solid stuff right in there. A couple of them with with C zones should be a comfortable race above 50 for power and glory, along with pretty provocative. Our trip handicapping lets us know you got 2 out front, 5 in the back. That really should, despite the track bias, give an edge to horses that get out to the front. Power and Glory and a New Piece, 2 closers actually with the most early speed. So we call those left arrow horses. They get out there. They won't forget how to close. If you're looking for a closer, it sure looks like Glittering Lights. That one has borderline stakes level ability at the end of a race. Anytime you're closing in on triple digits, that's some real talent. Glittering Lights is your top total pace. It is 8 points clear of everybody else. That means that horse should win by about a length and a half, Terry. What do you think?
Well, I like the number 1 in time. She ran second versus similar last race, can handle the distance, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then Shaibi, the 3 is my second choice, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 4 Glittering Lights, my third choice, was beaten only a length and half in the last race versus similar. Her best turf speed is fast among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Just Deny, the 7's my long shot. She has a win at today's distance, so we know she can go that far. And she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and a good workout on 5 furlongs on August 13th. My contest picks are 1 and 3.
I'm going to start off here with the 4-horse, any of its races so far, since coming over from France would be more than enough to win in this spot. And of course, 100% of the time, it runs a speed figure above par. Can't beat that. Pretty provocative, the 5-horse. That one is a bit of a long shot. So far, of all the horses in this race, it's the only one aside from the 4 that has run a recent race that touched the par speed figure for this level. In time, the 1-horse could be at her best in the 3rd start after a layoff. Last time ran at this level and just missed. Number 3, Saibi. That one's absolutely faced the stiffest company so far. Probably needs to get off to a little bit of a better start today to find the winner's circle. Race number 4, we have another pick 4 in this spot, Terry. This one is going to be back on the dirt.
That's right, and it's 6 furlongs, $20,000 claiming price. First $50,000 for 4-year-olds and upward.
And at 6 furlongs, you better be fast because a whole bunch of them go wire to wire. 30%. There's a little bit of a rail bonus. 2 through 7 a penalty. 8 and out is the absolute best place to be. We kind of saw that take shape in the first race there. The 8 got to the front, kept the front, and never gave it up. Terry, any horse here that has a similar resume?
No, there's several that have speed, and the 6, 8, 9 are pretty darn close in speed. They could go, head to head, all 3 of them. The 8 has an overlay from just like 6 to 5 to 10 to 1, and the 8 also has only par plus numbers. All but the 4 have C zones.
Yeah, a lot of them over 50%. We like to see that. Big overlay there. Almost a Gringo horse on Commerce Comet. Let's see if Commerce Comet has any advantages in the. Well, look at this race. Absolutely balanced. 2 on the front, 2 in the back, 4 in the middle. That can be just about anywhere on the track. So this race is probably going to be all about positioning. Let's see who fits the position the best. Well, Scaramanga. That one looks like, along with Brighter Days Ahead. Yes. The 2 the horses with some versatility. They don't need to be on the front. So if you're looking for a horse that absolutely needs to set the tone, it's probably going to be the 6 horse that jumps out to the front if it can, but plenty of horses to its inside to clear. So maybe a little too much effort early on. At the end, Bronx Bomber, the speed horse with some closing ability. Master of Arms, the other speed horse with some closing ability. Commerce Comet right there again. Top total pace picture. We got 4 horses, Terry, that are 4 points better than everybody else. Pretty tightly mixed. The 2, the 6, the 8, and the 1. Usually about almost 3 out of 4 winners come out of those top 4 total pace horses. Terry, tell us which one is the top of your list.
I like the 6 Master of Arms. He drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 18% of the sprints. He has a horse running in. Then I like the 9 Bitter Days Ahead. He won his last race at Saratoga, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 22% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. I like the 2 Scaramanga. It's my third choice. Won his last race at Saratoga, and the rail is winning at a 21% clip. The 1A is my long shot, Mr. JT. He finished third versus similar in his last race at Saratoga, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And my no favorite pick 4, I used the 1A, 2, and 9 with the 8, 9, with the 6, 9, 10, with the 1, 2, 5, 6. I believe that's a $36 ticket.
4x4x3, but yeah, that should be $36. You can actually toss another one in there somewhere along the line if you wanted.
Yeah.
We have the no favorite. Obviously, we don't know who the favorite's going to be when the race comes, but we just mean you can't pick the morning line favorite. It might turn out that you have the favorite in your picks by the time the race shows up, but we won't be here then, so we have to make a decision beforehand. I'm going to start with the 5-horse Safa's Day. I got some shots today I'm trying to hit. Hopefully, I bring home 1 or 2 of them. This one drops in class, does have the most back class, so let's see if that drop can bring some of that out of there. The 6-horse Master of Arms is your favorite morning line anyway. It is a bigger class dropper than the 5. Speed and Fade last time out at 7 furlongs. Cutting back to 6 furlongs today might be why this favorite beats both of our no favorite pick 4s. The 9, Brighter Days Ahead. This one should be as good, maybe a smidget better in the second start after a layoff, and could be or maybe is going to be your pace setter. And then finally, Commerce Comet, that long shot turned simulation odd favorite. This one has fired or failed off the bench like today, so coming off a little bit of a rest. Does have a really good string of workouts for its first race since February. I'm hoping for one of the booms, not a bust. My no favorite pick 4, I have the 5-8-9 over the 8-9, and then I'm going to go 4x4 on the back, and hopefully we catch something big somewhere along the line in our no favorite 4. Race 5, Terry, we only got 3 horses in this one.
Yeah, that's right. It's a lot of scratches. Anyway, the 6 furlongs claiming $35,000, $55,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 3 races.
Yeah, we have a lot of speed, as we mentioned, being important. 30% go wire to wire. Heck, just from the numbers here, there's a 33% chance one will go wire to wire. I saw Andy Serling talk about like half the horses were scratched by the track vet and the other horses were scratched by private vets. That only leaves 3, so they're all going to collect the checkman here, Terry. I don't know that the data really means much in a 3-horse race. Why don't we just talk about why we think who's going to win?
All right. I like in this race, Magnificent Mile. The 6 is my first choice. Finished third versus Tougher in his last race. Drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 930 drops in class today. Has the highest last speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey as well. Number 8, for some reason, my third choice, finished second in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey.
Yeah, only 3 horses. This is going to be a long break between races number 4 and 6. Everybody's going to go off to get hot dogs and food and everything else, right?
Yeah.
So imagine that the bathroom lines are going to be long at race number 5 at Saratoga, along with the food line. So you might think about going after race 5 or right before race number 4. I'm going to go with 3-0. I think this one has a shot to jump out to an easy lead and then potentially never give it up. 6-horse is your morning line favorite, sort of, I guess, at 8-1. This one is down in class, and of all the horses that are here, this one does have the best dirt record. And then for some reason, someone's got to be third out of 3, and for some reason, number 8 gets that call, although it's probably going to be the winner since we both put it in the 3rd spot. Race number 6 is next up. Hopefully we got more than 3 horses in this one, Terry.
Yeah, I think we do. So we're going to go a mile in the 16th in the inner turf. It's a maiden race, purse $80,000, and it's for maidens, fillies, 2-year-olds.
So my code verified. Best bet number 6 in the 3rd yesterday won at 7-2. Fantastic. I was going to go. I changed my mind at the last minute. I should probably never do that on the 7. I had this I don't know why. I saw that number and I'm like, I'm going to change it. I was actually going to go with the last race with number 2. I'm regretting it now because anytime I make a change, it never works to my advantage. There's a whole bunch of these a mile and a 16th inner turf races today. Closers do great 15% of the time. However, if you get the lead, you can go gate to wire right past go into the winner's circle and collect the winner's check. There's a rail bonus, so Lotus Petal could get a little bit of an edge over those 8-1 odds. 2 and out. They play fairish with a little extra juice for post 4, 5, 6, and 7. Really no deal makers or deal breakers, sans the rail horse, Terry. A lot of these horses really with not a lot of experience, so the data is kind of iffy, but from what we have, what do you see?
Yeah, the 9 has all the speed in the world, as you see there. Oh, wait a minute. I'm in the wrong race here. This is the 6th race we're in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry about that. The 6 has all the speed in the world, and then you can see that the 2 and the 5 have overlays, and the 2's overlays about, 4 to 5 to 8 to 1, and then the 5's overlay is 2 to 1 to 4 to 1. None of them show par plus numbers, and 6, 8, and 3 all have small C-zone numbers.
Yeah, every one of these horses should be uncomfortable. Really does look like Tekka does have the best pop to get to the front, as well as the highest Q30 score. Again, 2-year-olds, so a lot of these horses really, not showing a lot of work on their resume so far. That 6 horse, well, if Tekka can get the lead, it is a lone E. Every other horse so far not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line, and the 1 horse Lotus Appeal, that one's making its debut. So if the 6 can get an easy lead, Terry, could go wire to wire fairly simply. Aside from Lotus Appeal, all the other ones, 6 horse Tekka, that one is clearly the quickest of the bunch out of the gates. The late speed numbers belong to the 5 horse Mez California. That one's about a length and a half quicker than everybody else. Maybe as many as 3 lengths off the lead, at least if its early work is any indication of where it comes out of the gate. Tekka is your top total pace horse with Annie Goodbye. They're 5 points clear of the favorite. And here, Terry, this one, 2-year-olds, anything can happen. Tell us what you believe is going to happen.
Well, I think that speedster number 6, Tekka, is going to win this race, finish 3rd versus similar on dirt in her last race. Her breeding suggests she'll like the grass. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 10 Someone is the second choice. She lunged and hit the gate at the start in her only start, losing all chance. She switches to a high percentage winning jockey, can improve while trying grass, as her dam has 2 winners and 4 starters, and one of those was a turf winner. 9 Authentic Now, out of the stud that Authentic that won the Kentucky Derby and the Breeders' Cup Classic, and I owned a little piece of, so I'm kind of going with this one. She has a high percentage winning jockey and a good 4 furlong workout on August 13th. My long shot is the 2 Annie Goodbody. She trained, her trainer wins 20% of the race. In the first race at a route, a horse he trains, runs in, and he can improve, or she can improve at the longer distance, and has a bullet workout August 13th. My picks are 6 and 10.
He's talking about the contest picks. Here you can see all of our contest picks. If you play like horse tourneys, those pick and praise where you got to pick a couple of horses and then hope that they don't scratch. I like the versions where it's live and you get to continue on picking from race to race. I just gives you a chance to get back in it if you're a little bit behind. Yeah, I'm going to go with where you left off, Annie Goodbye. That one just needs to improve a tiny bit off of its debut effort to win. Maybe the extra distance can provide for that. Tekka is that lone E that can get out to that front, Terry. Easy lead. Last time out, that horse was 6 wide. Struggled as it came around the corner to get to the finish line, and ain't going to have that problem today. Should get to the lead and can run pretty much anywhere on the track at once. Mez California, the 5 horse, major step forward in the second start of its career. Does have a bullet workout since then. Could be even better today. I was hoping that one wouldn't be the morning line favorite because I wanted to include it in my pick 4. And then Authenticate Now. Trouble trip in its debut. Stumbled badly at the beginning. Decently bet. Horse that finished second in that race ahead of Mez California. Came back to win her maiden race at Saratoga. So if that horse can mirror that horse's performance, maybe, Terry, your bias because of your share of Authentic will come through to the winner's circle once again. Do you get a cut of its babies too or no?
I get a cut of the stud fees. And then I also have bought some shares, a small amount of shares in one of the offsprings is going to run this Saturday at Del Mar in the first race. Our Authentic Spirit.
Well, let's hope Authentic Spirit has the same spirit as Authentic, and also puts plenty of paychecks in all of those folks' pockets who have a piece of that one.
Yeah.
Let's take a piece of race number 7, as it is the beginning of the late pick 4 and has plenty of things to talk about in order to qualify for this one.
Yeah, it's a mile and an eighth, and it's a purse of $110,000, an optional claiming price of $50,000 if you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won $20,000 other than maiden claim and starter or state bred allowance, or which have never won 2 races or optional claiming price of $50,000.
At $1.125 on the main track. Speed, baby. Burners get the job done. Heck, 41% of the time, if you get the lead, you never, ever see the backside of another horse. And there's a clear outside to inside bias. The farther you are from the rail, the better off you are. Terry, show me a Buffalo Girl in race number 7 that has some outside speed, but unfortunately you can't do that.
Nope. The inside horse has got all the speed on that rail. And then the 7 shows an overlay from about 6 to 5 to 8 to 5, 7, 2, 4, and 1 show par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones that are okay.
Mm-hmm. Our race shape for the 7th race tells us another really perfectly balanced effort in here. The 1 and 5 want to be on the lead. The 4 and the 6, they want to be in the middle. And the 2 and 7, those two so far have shown that they prefer to close. As the race gets going, it does look like Camera on the Rail should have its way early on. Standout sensation right there. But if Central Avenue can get a little bit of push forward, that's what we call a left arrow horse. At the end of the show, it sure looks like headline numbers will be blown by anybody who's tiring at the end. That 101 is absolutely stakes level stuff. That horse shows anything more at the beginning and continues with that kind of late speed, that one might find its way into stakes races, Terry. Today, it's a 4-point total pace edge over Central Avenue, over the $1 million horse Camera, over who could ask for more. I guess a lot of people can. Terry, it looks like a 2-horse race for the most part between the 7 and 2. Maybe the $1 million horse shows up. What do you say?
Yeah, I like the 7 headline numbers as my first choice. Won her debut at Aqueduct by 11 lengths, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. She's my pick of the day. And then the 2 Central Avenue is the second choice. She ran second versus similar to last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Standout sensation, the 5 is my third choice. She was a non-starter in her last race because of problems at the gate, but ran second versus similar in the previous race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Camera, the 1 is my long shot, has finished in the money in 4 out of 6 career races. The distance won't be a problem, and she's trained by Todd Fletcher. And then my picks for the contest are 7 and 2. And my normal pick 4 is the 2-7 with the 1-3-5-6 with the 3-5-9-10 with the 3-6-7 at $48 ticket, and I'm playing 10 to win and 20 to place on number 7.
I am going to go with the 7 horse as the winner, singling it up in my pick 4 too. If that horse improves any at all off of its debut, and this race is the second laugher in a row for headline numbers. If it does falter, Central Avenue, your second pick, Jerry, took a ginormous step up in her only other second start off the bench. The same thing here, regardless of what headline numbers does, would make this race very interesting at the finish line. Who could ask for more? The 4 horse, been facing by far the top competition. First time Lasix for this horse. I think this one actually ran in the Black-Eyed Susan, if I remember correctly. And then finally, standout sensation, the 5 horse. Who knows what the hell is going to happen with this horse? Shown enough talent to run lights out, but has also shown that the lights can also be out. We'll see which version shows up today. I'm going to single the 7 and then try to catch something behind it with the 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, with the 3, 5, 9, 10, and then with the 2, 3, 6, 7, and 9. I'm pretty certain that's a $40 pick 4, but it all comes down to that 7 horse. In race number 8, Terry, we're going to continue our path towards the end of this week for you and me.
All right. It's a 6 furlong race, optional claiming race, $80,000 purse. $80,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to be claimed. $120,000 purse for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won $20,000 3 times other than a maiden claiming starter or state bred allowance, or which have never won 4 races, or which have not won $45,000 in 2024, or an optional claiming price of $80,000.
A lot to think about to put your horse in there. Not much to think about in terms of track bias. Speed, yep, 30%, win wire to wire. There is a rail bonus for Disco Ball, owned and trained by Jacobson Racing. 2 through 7 a penalty. Again, 8 and out's the best place to be. So show me a little giddy up and go on the outside, and you have yourself probably a winner, Terry. But this is one of those races, again, where it just looks like anybody, if they want, can get forward.
That's right, because you can see there's lots of speed in there, although the 3 and 1 show the most speed. They could go head to head. The 1 has an overlay from 3 to 5 to 7 to 2, and the 4 has an overlay from about 3.5 to 1 to 6 to 1. All but the 3 show par plus numbers, and all but the 4 show C zones.
Pretty big numbers in here for a couple horses in there. Par plus 58%. So Disco Ball, 5,870 times in our 10,000 simulations with a speed figure of at least 94. That's a pretty big number in there. Our trip handicapping, really nobody lead dependent. The 1 and 6 have some flexibility. The 5 wants to co-pilot. Look out for Gulfport, that 3 horse. The lone PCs can be dangerous because if the race is too fast, they can be patient. If it's too slow, they can say, let's giddy up and go. Early on, Disco Ball, Gun It, the 2 EP types, they're the ones that are likely go forward, although everybody within 10 points of one another, that's just 2 lengths. A bump, get wide. Disco Ball on the inside should set the tone. At the end of the race, Disco Ball also has the most late speed. Sometimes you can't pass what you can't catch, Terry, and that might be the case for Disco Ball, as it does grade out as the top total pace horse, 8 points clear of everybody else. Can Disco Ball, Terry, take that rail advantage and go wire to wire?
Well, I like the 3 Gulfport. He won his last race at Churchill Downs, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the 1 Disco Ball. He has won 3 races in a row. Rail Post is winning at a 21% clip. He has a high percentage winning trainer. The 6 Gun It's my next choice. He finished in the money in 3 out of 6 starts at Saratoga. He won one of those starts, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Cavat, the 5, is my long shot. He won his last race at Churchill Downs, and he switches to a high percentage winning jockey. And then contest picks are 3 and 1.
Our picks for the horse tourney type things today. Good luck if that's what you're doing. In the 8th race, I'm going to go with that 1 horse, Disco Ball, with that top total pace. I think anybody can really win this race. So I'm going to take a crack at what I hope would be a little bit of a price in here. The top total 8 pace horse with the 8 with the 1 on the rail with the speed. Let's see if it can get to the front and just stay there. Then after that, Gulfport is that morning line favorite. It really is the class of the field. And here, I think it could be tough to beat. Kavad, as much upside as anybody else in this race with the 5 horse, does have some of its best workouts prepping for the first race after a little bit of time in the barn. And then Little Vic, well, that's the second longest shot on the board. This one does have a grade 3 win. Switch over to Irad Ortiz in the second start after a layoff. But quite frankly, you could pick any horse in this race, make a case for it, and watch it hit the finish line first. Probably the most competitive race of the day, in my view. 2 races to go to start the late daily double. That would be race number 9 is the first half of that.
Okay, it's a 1 mile and a 16th inner turf optional claiming race, $45,000 claiming price, $100,000 purse. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Register, which have not won $20,000 twice other than maiden claiming or starter, or which have never won 3 races, or an optional claiming price of $45,000.
And again, there's a few of these races today at $1 and a 16th on that inner turf course. Keep an eye on what the previous races look like. Might give you a little bit of indication of where the bias is today. But so far, closers have been the dominant type, although 15% still managed to get to the front and stay there. There's a little bit of a rail bonus for Burnt again. 2 and out, play Fairish. 4, 5, 6, and 7 get a little bit of a bump on that, Terry. But really, outside of the rail, no deal makers or deal breakers. A little bit of tactical speed could be useful. It sure looks like 1 again has the best chance to get to the lead and maybe stay there.
Yeah, that 9 shows the most speed, followed up by the 5. So if the 9 gets a good break, can outbreak those inner horses, it'll get to that quarter pole first. The 3 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 7 to 2, and the 6 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 30 to 1, which is a really nice pick overlay. And all but the 7 have par plus numbers, and then all but the 7 also have C zones.
So maybe just put a line through the 7 and it's 50 to 1 odds, and just take all of the rest of them and box them up and hope for the best odds, right? Because this race looks wide open, Terry, again. I mean, all these par plus numbers, it means every one of these horses has a really strong chance to run a speed figure of at least 81. And so that makes it really any horse can win. Let's see if any of them have a in-race advantage. Well, maybe the 5, Spooky Lady, Lone E. Most of these people want to be, most of these horses want to be middle back. So forwardly placed should be a good spot to be. The 7 horse, there it is, Terry. Too bad we can't bet 1 to come in last, but it probably won't come in last anyway. Solib is your pace setter. Terry is the PC type, but it's not lead dependent, the 5 horses. So I'd expect the 5 to go out. Then you'd have these other ones in here, the 9 to 2 and the 10, probably taking up the stocking roles. At the end of the race, if you're looking for the horse that'll be coming the hardest, it'll be Can't Fool Me, a little bit better than Solib in Racing Colors, although Solib should be quite a bit in front of that one as they come around the turn. Your top total pace horse here is that early speed type, but doesn't need it, the PC. Solib, that one's 10 points better than I'm Just Kidding. Anytime you have a 10-point total pace advantage, that horse might not be your winner, but there's a hell of a chance it's going to finish in the money. Terry, who's going to win?
Okay, I like the 3, Can't Fool Me. She ran second or last race. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters, tied with another. She has a high percentage winning trainer. The 10, I'm Just Kidding, is second choice. She has a high percentage winning trainer and the jockey, and she has a good workout on August 15th. Spooky Lady, the 5, is my third choice. She likes the turf, finishing in the money 60% of the starts, winning 20% of those races. She has a high percentage highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Solib, the 9, is my long shot, has won 2 out of the last 4 races, and the additional distance will help. My picks for the contest are 3 and 10.
I'm going to go with the 9 horse in race number 9. Those are my cryptic codes, Horse Racing 24. I love when the horse that I like is also running in that same race. That horse 9 has that 10-point total pace advantage. That works. What doesn't work is the horse has tried the turf at Saratoga 4 times and hasn't finished in the money just yet. But chance to improve in the second start after a layoff. Can't Fool Me is that morning line favorite in there. Really consistent performer. Will be closing at the end, but just seems to miss by that much. Gets your hopes up just to stab you in the heart. Number 10, I'm Just Kidding, took a step forward of at least 5 speed points in both of its second starts after a layoff. Either one of those would be enough to win in this case. And then finally, Spooky Lady is that Lone E type. If that one can get off to a lead with all the other speed to the outside, you never know. Could sneak its way around the track in a wire-to-wire effort. Looks like they're lining up for race number 2. So before we go off to race number 2, remember, Hawthorne today, some free picks down in the description below over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Kindly use that. We'll also timestamp every race as soon as we're done, so you can come back and rewatch race 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, or you can review what we said about the prior starts. Again, Travers this weekend at $1.25 million, where Thorpeda Anna is going to try to do something nobody's done since 1903. The filly beat the boys. You can get that at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. And then over at horseracingtoday.net, we'll post all of our thoughts along with the recap of the show when the race is over. In race number 2, they are off and running, Mr. Terry.
Yep.
And at the moment, it does look like the 4-horse in race number 2 has gotten the lead. Oddly enough, the 5-horse has decided to go 3 wide in a 4-horse field, which just makes absolutely zero sense to me whatsoever at all. But, hey, do what you want, Flavian. You're the man.
Well, sometimes you can't help it, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you can. The 4-horse continues to set the lead. The 3-horse, Delahaye, our top pick for both of us, is in the shotgun position down on the rail. Surprisingly, the 1-horse is in third. The 5-horse is, again, still 2 wide as they come down the backstretch, heading in to the turn for home. The 4-horse, Butte Cachet, the one that, we thought had a good shot to the lead, has the lead still. 3-horse, there's really no change in running order. They're just kind of jogging around the track right now to see who's going to be the most interested as they fire their way home. It does look like Flavian has asked the 5 for some effort now as he pulls up along the 3-horse. Patiently waiting is the jockey on the 3, Tyler Gaffleone, to see what the 5-horse does. Around the turn they come. 3 wide for the favorite, the 5-horse in here. The 3-horse is going to try to run down that 4. Maybe they let that guy get away with too easy of fractions because they're having a hard time closing that gap. Although here comes Delahaye trying to get its nose up there. The 4 continues to hang in there, Terry, and it's going to go 4, 5, 3, 1. 4, 5, 3, and 1. Thankfully, we both went 3 deep there.
Yeah.
Terry. Otherwise, we might have been in trouble. And quite frankly, the 4-horse, that was the second choice anyway.
Yep.
So we probably would have been better off if the 3-horse had won, but we advance in our 1, 2, 3 pick 4. Oh, one more race to go today for you and me. Next week, of course, we'll return on Monday and Tuesday with Parks Racing. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll do Saratoga. But we got about a couple more weeks of the Saratoga meet before it ends. Before our show ends today, Terry, what are the details for the final run for you and I this week?
Well, it's a 5.5 furlong. It's on the turf. It's a maiden $100,000 purse for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yeah, 5.5 furlongs on the turf, that style. I don't know. I didn't write down the right details. I put a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. So let's go down here and see what 5.5 furlongs on the turf looks like, Terry. Stalkers do well. 24% of the time they go wire to wire. Looks like you want to be on the inside or you want to be on the outside. The middle of places have gotten squeezed, particularly the 2 and the 3. So, Terry, do you have any speed on the inside or do you have any speed on the outside to share with us?
Well, no, the speed's in the middle of the there. That 5-horse shows all the speed in the world. Blackfoot Daisy. The 3 has an overlay from 7 to 5 to 5 to 7 to 2. And then the 7 has an overlay from about 8 to 5, 5 to 1, 6, 7, and 3 show the par plus numbers. And then all but the 1 and 9 have C zones.
So in race number 9, Terry likes the 3. Byron, I like the 9-horse in here. That's a plus 10 total pace horse. Again, if you watch the show, we create our own proprietary numbers, and through the hundreds of shows that we've done, we've noticed that the horses that have a 10-point advantage, you can see here, race number 9, what I'm talking about. So Lieb, they have that 10-point advantage. They do very well. Can't fool me. A lot of late run in there in a field that most folks want to be in the back. So if you're in the back and you have the most late speed, you should be able to outrun everybody at the end. That's the way we see race 9. So maybe take the 3 and the 9 and put them together in an exacta or win place type stuff. And hopefully one of those 2 comes home the winner. I was thinking about race 10, making this one my best bet in here, Terry, but I switched it to the 7-horse in the opening leg, regretfully. The 1 and the 9, they're going to start for the first time in the 10th race. Everybody else wants to be middle forward, so a lot of early speed in this one, Terry. They could get hot, which you'd expect in a 5.5 furlong race. So I think you got, second, third, fourth, someone there with some late speed. You got a good chance. Blackfoot Daisy, going to be on the gas from go, a length quicker than everybody else. At the end of the spot, it looks like Arasu along with La Salvadorina. They'll be coming the hardest at the end. Your top total pace horse in here, Terry, is Arasu. That one's 6-7 points clear of La Salvadorina. They are a bunch of youngsters, so just about anything can go. So how do you see it going?
I like Arisu, the three. She finished third versus similar in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 6, La Salvadori Dorlala, oh, whatever. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 21% of the races from taking a horse from a route to a sprint. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning jockey, and blinkers are added today. I like the 7 Shoplifting. She finishes 5th in her last race after being bumped at the start. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and blinkers are added today. The 2 Precisely is by long shot. She finished third versus similar in her only start, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and Lasix added. My picks for the contest are 3, and my first alternate, the 5 Blackfoot Daisy, because that was my mom's name.
So what is the lock of the day? If I had the Terry, I think made the 7 horse in this race headline numbers, but I think it's going to be pretty low odds. That horse in its debut came out and just absolutely smoked everybody. If it can improve in its second start, it's probably going to smoke everybody once again. Terry made it its best bet of the day. In the last race for me, I'm going to go with a little bit of flyer in here, Terry. Your long shot's going to be my first pick. It's a Wesley Ward horse. 2-year-old, came out of the barn. It was the betting favorite in its debut. That was way back in June. It's been off since, so it comes back as a 3-year-old. That means it's now eligible for Lasix. So it probably had some issues bleeding after that opening race in there. So the horse that won the race, where Precisely was the favorite, that horse came back to win some stakes races, actually competed in the Breeders' Cup, so it lost to a quality horse for sure. The other horse that finished in front of it, that finished second, also came back to win and compete in some stakes races. So those horses that it lost to weren't bad at all. And I think you're going to see this Wesley Ward horse show up today. Arisu probably improves in its second start after a layoff. It is our simulation favorite. Stien, the 9 horse. Best of the first timers, in my view, does have a back bullet workout. So when I say back bullet workout, here you see it. At 47-4 at Belmont on July 20th, I am of the opinion that trainers, like Todd Pletcher in this case, they want to know what they have. So one of those workouts, they say to the jockey, let's test them. Let's see what we got. We know what we have, a pretty fast horse in CN. And then Shoplifting, the 7 horse. Best races coming off the bench like today. Best published works that this horse has had getting ready since its last start. 2-3-9-7. Race number 3 does kick off the pick and pray contest over at Horse Tourney. There are our bets for today in the contests. In race number 3, I do think, who won race number 3, Terry?
Who
4 horse.
Well, 2, race 2, the 4
Oh,
horse.
race to 4 horse. Yes. So race 3 is coming up. All right. It's going to say, well, there you go. There are our contest picks for the rest of the day. Our picks for the rest of the day, as I mentioned, Terry will post all of our picks, commentary, a replay of the video over on horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, kindly click on the Horse Racing Today gear. Get yourself a hat, a shirt, a sweater, whatever it is, a apron for your barbecuing or just work around the kitchen, wherever you wear an apron. And then, of course, this weekend is the Travers Stakes. We have all of that covered and more at Guaranteed Tip Sheet with our wagering guide. Make sure you head on over there for that. There's an accent for you, Horse Racing 2024, a Chicago accent. I got that one down pat.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts from you, Terry, before you and I part ways on this Friday?
If you like what you saw, you need to subscribe to YouTube and hit the little bell so you're notified about all our programs. Copy the link below. Share it with your friends and neighbors and relatives so they can come check us out. Go to our social sites such as X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up or a like. That'll help us out with the algorithms. And also any comments and that you do will also help us out. I want to thank Horse Racing 2024 and Brian Gisson. And let's see, there was one other fellow up here that been talking to us. So Selchuk. Want to thank them for their comments and being here today. And I see there that Horse Race 2024 says that the first race in Del Mar, he thinks the 6 is going to win that race.
I think he's talking about your 6 horse on Saturday.
Really? Because my horse is not the 6 on Saturday.
Well, never mind. He's not talking about that one.
No, my horse. I think my horse is the 5, but
all right.
I'm not sure. He might be right. So
you never know. You got the 5. You're sporting it on your head, so we'll go with that. We'll say that is an omen, precursor of what's to come. So as far as the rest of this day is concerned, once again, hey, Christopher D'Souza, good to see you. Race 9, $40 to win in place on number 5 in race number 9. The 5 horse there. Terry's 3rd pick, my 4th pick. And whenever Christopher says anything, folks, pay attention to it because he's always throwing a grenade into our picks. And fortunately, both of us have that one at least somewhere, Terry.
Yep.
Don't throw any grenades at any people today, folks. Just throw some smiles, some love, and some kindness. Treat people like you want to be treated. And, of course, no matter what you're chasing today, your life dream, but just a little bit of R&R before you go back to work, no matter what it is you're doing, we certainly hope it's filled with God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing you do until we get together again ends up in
the winner's circle.
1,000%. We'll see you tomorrow for York with 22-1 Tom for 4 on Friday. And Terry and I will return on Monday for Parks. Make it a great weekend.